Hey friends, welcome back to band practice. I'm Emma.
And I'm Madison, and today we're going to be doing an episode sharing your guys' worst first date stories. We asked for you guys to submit your stories on our Instagram, so definitely follow us if you want to be included in future episodes. But yeah, you guys submitted some stories. We haven't read through any of them yet, so this is going to be blind reactions to your guys' trauma, and I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I'm actually kind of nervous. If there's one thing I've learned about the podcast, it's that reading aloud is not my strong suit. And
Right.
so having not read these yet, I'm like, there's no preparation. So just please, the stuttering is going to happen. I'm going to get stumbled and let's just ignore it.
I don't think you're that bad, but I feel like I'm
Thanks.
bad. I feel like I just pronounce things wrong when I'm on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like you think that you stumble over words more. But I just sound stupid because I say things wrong. Which I think is worse. So you don't have
Mm,
to worry about that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, I'm trying to think what's been going on in either of our lives. I feel
I
like it's
know.
been kind of an uneventful week in terms of life events.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy. We did start a challenge together,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of, I feel like maybe why it's been uneventful because we've just been not doing that much. But we started a low spend challenge where we just try to spend the least amount of money possible for the month of October. And I don't really know what inspired this. I think we just came to terms with our spending habits and
Yeah,
just that
enough was
we
enough.
yeah, we don't need to be doing that. Like enough was enough. And so it was actually Emma's idea. She texted me. And then it was kind of something casual at first, like we weren't really going to make it a challenge, but then we made like actual rules. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm vlogging it on TikTok, so it's like a whole thing that I actually have
Yeah,
to like stick to now. And we're on day 3. How's it been going for you?
good. I spent like $3 this morning on tortillas. That's it.
Today is my first, hopefully, unless things go awry, my first $0 day.
How freeing.
I
So
know.
exciting. I know. I was so upset. I was like, of course I forgot something at the grocery store yesterday. So now I have another day of spending, but
Hmm.
it's nothing.
I know. I was driving home from work today and I knew we were recording this later, so like sometimes I'll stop at like Starbucks or
Yeah.
like somewhere to get a fun beverage and I passed Starbucks and I was like hand on the window, like tears in my eyes. But I didn't get anything, so I feel good.
Yeah, I know that's kind of been the hard thing is every time I leave the house, I think that I deserve some sort of treat, whether it's like a beverage or picking up food on the way home. I don't know, it's just absurd.
You need a
Like
little
how
treat.
like at all times I need a little treat. Or even I think the biggest thing for me is that I've learned is that I don't just because I have the money doesn't mean I should spend it. Or just
Right.
because I can get something doesn't mean I should.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's been tons of things that I'm like, I probably would have ordered this, this, and this on Amazon already, and I haven't. And life has moved on and life is fine. It's really none of it is necessary. It's just frivolous spending.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of on the same train. I feel like this hasn't necessarily hit me yet because it's only been 3 days, but I feel like
I'm like, no, this has changed my life.
it has been eye-opening so far, but
Yeah.
I feel like I have like short-term memory loss in that like 1 week I will not be able to stop thinking about something like I want it so
Mhm.
bad. And then if I don't end up buying it, I never think about it again. You
Yeah.
know? But most of the time I just cave and end up buying it. But I feel like this challenge like right now I just want to shop. I'm in
Yeah.
my like clothes era, so like I want
Mhm.
clothes, but I feel like by the time this challenge is over, pieces that I wanted to buy like literally will be on their way out, like not even
Yeah.
trending or
True.
like at the front of my mind anymore. And so, yeah, I feel like that'll be eye opening because it's like if you think you want something, just wait like a week or a month and then you probably won't want it anymore and you saved yourself some money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, Another idea we could do is write down things that we've been wanting to buy, and then at the end of the challenge, see if we even wanted those things anymore. Just
True.
to really prove that some of the spending just would never be justified.
Yeah. There's even things that I've been like about to go order on Amazon or like
Mhm.
about to add to my list and then I don't add them and I can't even think of what they were now. So obviously
Yeah,
I didn't want
exactly.
them that bad.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's crazy. Oddly enough, it lined up. I was going to say my other life update is I've been a little more social, which the girlies know.
Mhm.
I'm not
Mhm.
very social. And of course, like the second day of the challenge, I went out to lunch with a friend and then we went to like a friend's birthday dinner. So I had two like social events. And then I realized like being social is expensive. Like,
Yeah,
why does
literally.
everything surround around spending money? Like, I'm like, what? Oh, God. Life is crazy. But that's why we're doing this challenge.
Exactly, and now we're learning that, like, it's within the budget if we move other things around too.
Hmm.
Can't do it all
Yeah. Or even just
yet.
giving things second thought is like a good idea that we weren't doing before.
Literally.
Like even getting coffee or whatever. I told Emma the other day, like, or I think I told you this. Like I was taking Indy for a walk and I walked past a coffee shop
Mhm,
and normally I'd just go in and get a drink, even if like I wasn't really dying for a drink, like I didn't even necessarily really want one or like I already had a coffee that day. I'd just go in for a fun little treat anyways. But then I walked
yeah,
past it and I literally almost walked in and then I was like, what am I doing? Like I don't even want a coffee.
mhm.
And coffee is like $7, $8 nowadays. So it really does,
Seriously,
it adds up.
it really does add up. Yeah, no more, pointless Target strolls. It's for the best.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, what do I do if
I
not
know, I've
spend
been
money?
guys, we've been reading books, like, that's where we're
Yeah.
at.
No, I've been reading books and like taking silent walks in nature. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm a changed woman. I maybe we should like give our books a shout out. I just finished this
Yeah.
book called This Delicious Death. It was it's like a thriller, but for like the girls and the gays. Um,
Mm,
straight men likely would not enjoy this book, but it's like this girlfriend group that goes to, I think, essentially like a Coachella equivalent, like music festival.
okay.
Um, and there's also like they're not zombies, but like some sort of epidemic happened where like people started eating people.
Okay.
Um, and now there's like a big outbreak at the festival, and the girls are trying to like solve the mystery. It's really fun.
Okay. Sounds like right up your alley because it's like half thriller, mystery, half like fantasy vibe.
Exactly.
That's
And you
cute.
get it.
Hmm.
Because she knows me so well.
I might need to read that. That sounds fun. Anything
Yeah.
Emma recommends me now for books, I like trust her because I think I said in the last episode she recommended me The Maidens, and I
Mhm.
had just started it, and I was like, I think I really like it. Like I haven't really gotten that far into it. I ended up finishing it like the next day or the day after. Like I read
Mhm.
it in I think 2 or 3 days. It was so good. And then
Yeah.
I looked it up on TikTok after, and apparently people hated it. So I don't know what that's
I
about,
know that's
but
crazy.
I already ordered before the challenge started. I ordered some books. And I ordered the other book that you recommended from that same author.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it got stolen or something, but it said it was delivered and it is not here. And I'm
Okay, I was
upset about it.
wondering because you had said you had ordered 3 books and I had only seen 2, so I was like, maybe I'm seeing maybe she can't count, like, I don't know where this 3rd book is.
Yeah, I mean, neither do I. It's missing in action. And that was the one
Ah,
that I wanted to read next because it was like,
yeah.
by the same author.
You know, as a matter of fact, I don't know where mine is, so mine's I realized that the other day, like, mine just, like, isn't on my bookshelf, so
Huh.
there's a thief
There
out
is.
there collecting the silent patient.
Crossing state lines.
Crossing state, like, they're going global.
But I started
Yeah.
The Girl on the Train, which was another Emma recommendation. And I realized I read that book in high school after I started it, but I don't know if I ever finished it. I like don't remember the ending, so I'm still gonna
Yeah.
read it. And yeah, it's good so far. I like it.
Nice. I also had seen the movie because it was a movie, I think in like the 2010s, and I also could not remember how it even ended. So I was still
Hmm.
like, there's still like some twists and turns in the book that you just don't see coming. Leave us book recs whenever, hit us up.
Yeah. Also, somebody commented on my one of my vlogs of the low spend because I showed the books that I just bought, and she was like, "Girl, you need to get a library card. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
if you're a reader, like, why aren't you going to the library to save money?" And I was like, "Dang, she ate me up."
She ate you the F up.
Like,
No, Remy has a library card and she flies through books so fast, and I just love that for her. And her library lets like they let you request books for them to purchase if they don't have it. I was like, "Oh,
oh.
wow."
Yeah, because I'm not like somebody that would revisit books very often unless they're like my
Mhm.
favorite book ever. And I like having some books, around the house, but like you really don't need a whole library at your own house. You could just rent the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, but I want a whole library.
I know.
I gotta work on that.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, seriously. Well,
Well,
drinks?
what are you drinking?
All right, I've got I've got a Coke Zero in my pumpkin glass with a Sonic Pebble Ice,
Ooh,
and I added some vanilla syrup and true lime.
similar vibe. I'm Diet Coke with True Lime.
Look at us.
I know.
Cheers.
I guess we should get into these stories. I'm so
Let's
excited.
do it.
Actually, no. You have a story for us.
Oh yeah. I thought like in the spirit of other people being vulnerable and like sharing their stories, I would share my worst first date story. This is a crowd pleaser. Our friend Laura likes to bring it up to me seriously like once a month. She will mention this man's name, and it's crazy. Um, so this was actually my first Tinder date. It was the end of senior year of high school, so I was 18, and I'd only been on one other date before with one of our mutual friends.
Oh my god.
Um, so so I was, that's like a whole other thing. I was just very new to dating and very anxious around boys to begin with, but like was trying to get myself out of my comfort zone and just like, I don't know, be a young woman. So I meet this guy. I almost just said his name. That's crazy. I meet this guy and we are going to do a picnic at Tempe Town Lake for those that are local. I thought, oh, that's cute. Like, it's public. Like, that's totally cool. And my dad was like using my car at the time. So I didn't have my own car to drive. So I had to have him pick me up. But I had one of my friends stay at my place and she like watched me get off with this guy. She like took a picture of his car. Like, he didn't even know she was there. She was like being so nonchalant. Um, so yeah, he parks. He's in like this obnoxious blue like car, just like one of those guys that's super into cars, how they like beef up their random ass car. It was like one
Yeah.
of those. No offense. Um, and a key point here is that he left it running when he picked me up. So he gets out of the car, hugs me, like everything seems fine. So I text my friend when I get in the car. I'm like, we're good, like vibes are fine. So we're heading to oh, and he had packed the picnic, by the way, which was Lunchables.
I forgot that
I
detail.
wish I was kidding. So this is such a long story because there were so many things that went wrong. So as we're driving to the park, his car starts beeping, and I'm like, it's weird. Like I'm looking around, I look at him, he looks at me, he's like, so it's probably a good time to tell you I got a DUI, and so I have a breathalyzer and I have to breathe into it like every, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to keep the car running. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, okay. Made me feel really safe. And then he like made up some story about it that was probably not true. Anyways, so moving along, I was like, okay, like people make mistakes or something. I don't really know. It's fine. Don't really, I mean, I'm kind of stuck. So we get to the park and he's like not very good at like having a conversation. Like I was really carrying it, which if you knew me at the age of 18 is like crazy.
Mhm.
And we decide to keep the night going and we went to this like lookout spot, and it was like nighttime by this point, and we were like not even like sit cuddling, he has like his arm around me. I'm like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really want to kiss you right now. And I was like, no, like that's okay. So he kisses my forehead, but like almost like making out with it. He's like,
Ooh,
this is the next best thing is just a long wet one on the forehead, which is crazy.
crazy.
And then on the drive home, merging onto the freeway, he kind of swerves out of the lane because he was staring at me. That's literally what he said. He's like, "Oh, I could have crashed because you're so beautiful." I was like, "Okay, like let's go home." Oh, one other thing. So it was a stick shift car, and he was like really wanting to hold my hand while he was driving, but obviously he has to shift gears. So he had me hold his hand while he's like shifting
Mm,
like this, like holding my
mm.
hand and shifting at the same time. So yeah, it was really cringe, just a horrible date, and I broke it off with him the next morning, and that's that.
That is just crazy. And the crazy thing about men is he probably left that and was like, that went great. Like,
No, like
that was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I wonder what he's up to now.
I actually came across him maybe 2 years ago on a dating app with his girlfriend. They were looking for a third.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, no shame to couples who do that, but wouldn't you be like nervous that you would see people you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I would want it to be a bit more low key, but
Yeah.
I
Even
digress.
like, I feel like if you feel like you're safe, if you've been on a dating app, you know that you're not safe because you run into like
Mm-hmm.
the craziest people that you have like some weird connection to, like a
Yeah,
coworker or like an old friend's older brother or something. Like, there, you're
yeah.
always gonna see somebody that you know on there, and that is just such a bold.
I've seen cousins. I have seen my
Yeah.
brother, and I don't even want to read it. I just swipe, close my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's risky business.
It really is. Power to him. He's such a bold
Yeah,
guy in many different
for
areas.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
Mm.
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for the story time, guys. Thanks for listening.
Okay, this is our first story. It's a long one, so buckle in. Okay, this person says, this was our fourth date, and to be honest, I was just looking to make out. I suggested we watch Midsummer, one of my favorite scary movies, at his place. I drove about 45 minutes to see this man, keep in mind. We talked for a bit before he put on Beavis and Butthead for me to watch while he took a call from one of his friends.
Take
Please.
it from a friend is
Yeah.
crazy. Also, wanting to make out and watch Midsummer is crazy.
And then
But like,
the pivot
I'll
to
let it slide.
Beavis and Butthead is a lot
There's
to
just a
unpack already.
lot to catch up on. Yeah.
When he was done, he looked for Midsummer but couldn't find it on any streaming services. I thought it was a little strange he didn't offer to just rent it on Prime, but I assumed maybe he didn't have it or something. I love that she said, pay for it. Like,
Literally.
I asked him if there's any movies he's been wanting to watch, to which he suggested The Godfather. I stifled. See, I can't pronounce. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good job.
I stifled a laugh because that is literally a cliche at this point, especially since the Barbie movie came out. I'd never seen it though, so I agreed. Get this, he went and rented it on Prime. Oh my god. so
Jeez.
so I'm thinking, WTF, we could have rented Midsummer, but whatever. We cuddled for the 3-hour long torture session that the grandfather is, but I couldn't make a move to kiss him because his breath smelled so bad. Oh.
Mm-mm.
Like, I could smell it every time he talked. His stomach also kept making weird noises. I'm pretty sure he was farting.
Oh my god.
Oh my
This is
god.
like it's this whole story is so funny.
No smooching happened, obviously. He texted me after and asked when we could hang out again, to which I suggested this weekend and that he come over to mine. Girl,
Girl,
stand up.
please
Stand up.
stand up.
In parentheses, I know, I'm a pushover. He doesn't have a car, so I suggested he takes the tracks, to which he agreed to. I assume that's like public transport of some
Mhm.
sort. Um, I've never heard of that though. I'm trying to like track down where they live.
Yeah,
The tracks, I don't know.
the tracks.
Yesterday, oh, this is very recent. Oh my god. Okay, she goes on. Yesterday he texted me, I don't know if I can come out to place I live on Saturday. You students get free transit, but only if they're enrolled for that semester. I'm not enrolled, so I can't use it for free. Like, what? It costs maybe $5 to get a pass. I didn't respond all day, and then he sent me a send nudes meme. No, no.
What?
Last sentence really wraps it up nicely. I think I'll block him. LOL. He's not worth the makeout.
Oh,
No, like
girl.
not at all. It's not worth the
Not worth a
trouble.
peck.
Not
This
worth
is
anything. I hope he's hot at least or something. Like there
yeah,
needs to be
like
some redeeming quality.
this is a horrifying experience. Could never go back.
No, I can't believe she offered to hang out again after the
That's wild.
farting Godfather session.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, girl, I'm sorry about that. I wish you better luck in the future.
Yes,
Considering this
please.
happened like
It
yesterday, we don't know
like
what the
I don't
future
know that it could
holds.
get worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Met on Bumble. We went to dinner and he brought me flowers. Cute. That's actually very cute. For a
That is
dating
really
app,
cute.
I've never heard of someone getting flowers.
Mm-mm.
Then we went to Fat Cats for half price arcade games. It was okay. Arcades can be fun with the right people. He was super touchy and I was getting uncomfortable since it was our first date. However, it blew over and we said, sorry, I got lost. However, it blew over and we said we should watch the sunset before I took him home. In parentheses, homie didn't have a car. Red flag.
I was gonna
And he,
mention something, but I held my tongue, so thank you for clarifying.
yes. When he leaned against my car, he scratched the side of his pocket knife that was in his back pocket. It was about a 6-inch scratch. That's when I said, okay, time to get home. Oh, well, I'll never talk to him again. And I still have the scratch on my car. He
Ooh,
offered to pay for it, but I was like, no, I'd rather never speak to you again.
please. I was gonna say, did he just like pretend? I feel like some guys would like scratch it and then pretend like it didn't happen, like not address it at all. But I would have taken the cash. I mean, he's for sure paying for that. But
Oh, for sure.
yeah, not much to say about that one. Just vandalism.
Yeah, truly.
Okay, next one. I once agreed to go over to a gal's house after talking on Tinder, realized upon arrival that the sparks were not there, and spent the remainder of the afternoon quietly playing Wii Sports golf and unceremoniously seeing myself out after the front nine. I don't know anything about golf, so I don't know if that's like quick or.
That's I think there's 18 holes, so they
Okay.
only yeah, did
Mm.
half. Damn.
That happens
Spark's
though.
not there.
Yeah, you got to get out of there if you
Just plain
get a bad
if it
vibe.
resorts to Wii Sports, like, yeah, that's not a great first date.
Yeah, unless you're like 11, then it'd be great.
Literally.
But
Dude, and this is the worst, I think what they're saying, like, when, like, the date doesn't, like, have a proper closure, and then it's just like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go," like,
mhm.
oh, I hate that.
I know. And how would you see yourself out halfway through the Wii Sports golf game? Like, I wonder how that conversation
Yeah.
went. The thing about me is I have stayed like even if it's like a friend situation or like a first date situation, anything, I'm not good at like getting out of it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I would have
Yeah.
been there all night playing Wii Sports and like just wanting to shoot someone. So I really like respect this so much that you just said, "All right,
Yeah.
I gotta
Like, that
go.
I've had enough. Yeah.
I've had enough of the Wii Sports." And golf is the worst one. Come on, at least bowling or something.
Yeah. Okay. Lived in an ASU party house with 4 other roommates, and we threw a rager that got so out of hand, we got put on a 90-day watch.
Mm.
Iconic.
Wow.
Needless to say, the next day I was not feeling my best self. I tried to rally that afternoon for a first date to watch the ASU football game at a sports bar. I was so sick and not feeling the guy. At the end of the day, as we were leaving, he grabbed my hand to walk me across the parking lot to my car. The surprise combined with general ick, both physically and from the hangover and from the dude, made me instantly keel over and vomit in the street, all while he continued to hold my hand. Surprisingly, I was still the one who had to ghost him after that. It sounds like he
Oh,
was nice.
I know he does. He
Or,
sounds sweet.
but like, if it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah, this is such like I feel like a classic ASU story.
Yeah, no, literally, it's a culture I never experienced, but I have a little FOMO about.
Yeah, I know. I did go to ASU, but I did not have the ASU experience. Yeah, but also I feel like maybe it's just she was a little grumpy because she was hungover, but sometimes I feel like if you're a little bit grumpy or you're just not really feeling the person and then they're so nice on top of it, it like pisses you
Hmm.
off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I was feeling sick and throwing up and like I didn't like this guy and he wouldn't let go of my hand, I'd be like, let
I've
go
never
of my
had
hand.
that.
Yeah. Sorry, girl.
Sorry.
Okay. I just read the first sentence of this one. Okay. My older sister went on a Tinder date with a homeless man, but didn't know it until after the date.
Okay.
She picked him up from his apartment and waited 20 minutes for him to come out. He came out wearing a backpack, red flag number one. They got to the restaurant where they were eating, and he said, I forgot my wallet, but you seem nice, so I'm sure you'll buy me food.
Well, that's
Please.
crazy. Maybe, like, I guess say you forgot your wallet, but we don't need the last part.
No. And like, you don't have Apple Pay? You don't have Venmo?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, they said that's red flag number 2. She felt bad, so she bought him dinner. Meanwhile, she finds out that he has 2 40-ounce beers in his backpack and also took off for like 30 minutes and she didn't know where he went. Red flag number 3. The fact that she sat there waiting for him for 30 minutes, like, where was he?
I'd be gone.
That was your moment to get up and leave.
Yes, babe.
She contemplated leaving or sending a server to find him, but then he came back. She drove him back to the place he was staying, which she thought was his apartment. They started hooking up in the car and then decided to go in. Okay, no judgment, but like, we've already got 3 red flags.
Must have been hot.
Yeah.
Must have been hot. Like, that's all I can say.
3 strikes, you're out, but I guess there's some situations. She said, okay, so they decided to go in. She said there was no furniture in there except for a mattress and some board games. So no furniture, because those 2 things are not furniture.
Neither of those are furniture, correct.
She's pretty sure he was squatting in there. She got creeped out and decided to leave, but honestly, I can't believe it. I can't believe she made it through the entire date without seeing all of the red flags. We laugh about it now. Yeah, that's one of those things where, like, maybe like you said, he was really hot.
Yeah.
And so you're like, you're looking past it, but then at the end you're like, oh, okay. Yep. Yep. It's all adding up.
2 40-ounce beers in the backpack on the date is the biggest thing for me. Like, that's wild.
I wonder what else was in the backpack.
Yeah.
Give me a what's in my bag.
What's my bag?
But also, if he was squatting in somebody's house, why would they only have a mattress and board games? Or
yeah,
like,
I don't
he
think
brought
that's
BYOM,
accurate.
bring your own mattress? Question mark?
Please.
Like,
they were probably just like in a transitional phase of life and just like couldn't afford everything yet, which is totally fine too. But everything combined is just a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, this one sounds like a bit of me. When I was dating, I stopped looking people up and doing background checks because I would psych myself out and realize they're not my perfect Prince Charming. I do this. I do very intensive background checks.
Like actual government level background checks. Like you check their criminal history.
I do.
Okay.
I check your LinkedIn. I check like your career history. I don't care if you see me checking your LinkedIn. Like, please.
I was just gonna say, I don't even like. I'm so not in the corporate world that I don't even understand LinkedIn. So like, truly, if you see me, you see me, because I don't even know how to like hide myself. I don't even know how to protect myself, and I don't care.
I love that. Yeah. Well, like the second time I decided to stop looking into the background too much, I went on a date with a felon who had just gotten released from prison for selling drugs and narcotics on campus in college. We met for dinner and he made me pay the bill, then asked me to hang out again. After the date, my friends called to tell me they looked him up since I didn't, and it was indeed a felon. I blocked him that night. That's nuts.
That is crazy. At least it wasn't like, not that like selling drugs is okay, but like at least it wasn't like a sex offender, or like an assault murder situation. Maybe he was just, trying to not have student loans,
trying to grind,
got caught up.
Yeah. This reminds me, when I recently joined the dating apps again, there was this guy that had like some basketball pictures, not on like a big professional. I think he was on a team in like Germany or something.
Okay.
So I was like, let me look him up. First thing I see is mugshots. Like literal like Chicago Times news stories about this man and some other player that were like committed robbery or something. I was like, okay.
Change your name at that point.
Have to dig.
Yeah, like that's too easy.
Way too easy.
I love that. That's so fun. Adds a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
A felon.
And worst part, the mugshot was bad. I was like, borderline catfishing.
Dang. Wow. Caught up on so many different
Caught up.
levels.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is two parts. I think I found the one that has the follow up. So
Mm.
this one starts with I went on a date with a guy who was the nephew of a teacher I had in high school who I totally had a crush on. And then she said, clarifying about the nephew, I didn't know he was my old teacher's nephew when we matched on Bumble, but once we found the connection, the resemblance was totally there. Okay,
Okay.
go off.
Period.
Like, if you can't
I
get the
hope you like the
teacher,
teacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
then get the nephew.
And I
What was the
stand by that.
issue? Or it
Yeah.
was just fun?
Just a
But this
funny,
was a
funny coincidence.
okay. I guess this wasn't necessarily a bad date, just a funny.
Just a funny one. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Here's another short one. Met a guy on Hinge for our first date, and my dealer texted me right as I got there and said they were on their way. So of course I had to take my date to pick up my cocaine with me with an emoji, like please,
Girl.
girl.
And who's the
And was there a second
villain?
date?
Like, who was that the bad date for? Because if you took your date to get cocaine, and then, like, this
You
is a
should have sent
story that
that
he's
business
telling.
form. Yeah,
Right. We need his side of the
I
story.
need to hear the other side.
That's his
Did you
breathalyzer
share?
guy story. Like,
Yeah.
he'll be talking about this for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
You're so open about it.
I
Mm.
know. Thanks for submitting. Like, that's a fun one.
Yeah. Spice it up.
Next one. I went on a Hinge date with a guy who looked so cute in his profile pictures. I already know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
When the time came for the date, he went to the wrong location of where we were meeting. To his credit, they had two locations. And by the time he got to the right place, they were closed. I'm already annoyed. Like, pull it
Yeah.
together. When he finally arrived, he didn't look nearly as cute as his profile photos. Then over the course of dinner, he majorly trauma dumped for the whole time and didn't ask me anything about myself. Like, major trauma, like his ex having a miscarriage and how much that messed him up, and other things on a similar level. I appreciate a little vulnerability on a first date, but this was a bit too much. When the date finally ended, he went to hug me and begged to see me again because he thought I was amazing. All I had done was listen. That boy didn't need a date, he needed a therapist. That's crazy.
This makes me angry at men.
I know. People have no boundaries. Like,
Mm-mm.
obviously, that's not like the protocol for a first date. Like,
Yeah.
yes, this is important information to share in like a relationship, but like, let's
Mm-hmm.
start with where you from? Like, what do you do for work? Not like the
What
deepest,
happened
darkest
to how
trauma.
are you?
No, literally what happened to
My name
hello,
is.
how are you? My name is. Yeah, and anything about exes, why don't people understand that it's not a first date topic?
No. And
Like,
if it becomes your first date topic, it's because you aren't ready to move on.
yeah, you're not over it. You really do
Your
need a
mind is still
therapist.
consumed by it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear like the word ex, let alone the trauma that you
Mm-mm.
have with them. Like, to be quite frank, I just don't care. Now I want to leave and I don't like you.
Yeah. This brings up one of my biggest pet peeves with dating is like when you're first getting to know someone and you're asking them questions like about their job or something and they just don't like they'll give you detailed answers but they won't ask you back. I'll just stop responding at that point. Like you're not interested
Yeah.
in learning about me.
Like, this is
That's
not an
crazy.
interview for you,
Like, babe,
please.
start a podcast. I can help you. But okay, I think this is our last one.
Okay, okay.
We breezed through it. So, not my first date, but we were talking on Snapchat. First red flag. Glad they understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he randomly invited me to go out to the pool, and I said no, but then he tried to guilt trip me into going by saying he thought I would look hot in a bikini.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what did he think? Like, oh, you're right. Okay, I'll go.
Oh,
I'll be there.
you think I'm hot? I'll do
You think I'd look
whatever
good in a
you
bikini?
want.
I'm changing now. Like, I'm ready.
Oh, no.
Also, can we talk about impromptu pool plans or no?
No.
I need to know ahead of time. Like, there are certain hair washing, shaving, tanning things, schedules that are already in place.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're not going to ask me the day of and I'm not showing up.
No, absolutely not. Like, because especially if it's like a first date or like couple first dates, like my hair is blown out. Like I showered this
Yeah.
morning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So no.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you.
It's not going to work.
And also Emma and I are like goggles diving
We are.
type of girls. So I'm also not gonna like put my hair up and just like go with it. No.
And what do you do at the pool on a date with just one person? Huh.
I don't know. Tread water.
Literally.
And just I don't even
Sounds
know.
pretty awful, actually.
Yeah. Not the best first date idea, I'd say.
No. And let's not interact with men on Snapchat. Let's all agree to that.
Yeah. We're grown.
We're moving on.
It's in the past.
And we're
And
going to leave it there.
yeah. I just hope that none of you are still on Snapchat because I will shame you.
Period.
Well,
That was it.
that was a
Those were
doozy.
good.
Yeah, we got a little taste of everything. That was fun.
All over the place. Yeah.
Thank you guys for submitting your stories and being vulnerable with us in many different ways. I love these episodes where you guys submit your stories because they're always a little bit shocking. Like, you never know what's coming. And yeah, we just really appreciate you guys for sharing your stories with us.
Yeah, it makes it feel like a true community. Like we're really a band. Like there are people out there listening and interacting back. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
If you want to stay up to date with us or like participate in one of these story videos in the future, you can follow us on Instagram at bandpractice.podcast. That's also our TikTok. And if you could subscribe or follow our podcast in whichever way you're listening or watching on YouTube. Follow on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so you don't miss an episode. And while you're there, go ahead and leave a rating and review right now.
We're waiting.
You've got a minute.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Okay, perfect. Good job, guy. 5 stars.
Thank you guys so much. And I mean, that's it. We have nothing else to say,
really
right?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just wish I could talk to y'all more.
I know. I guess that's all.
But yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.